welcome to the Africa Sports Report. This is your host, Leslie Corona, and in another episode of the Africa Sports Report. We're excited to bring you another interesting show today. This show is dedicated to what I call innovators, people who are making a difference in other people's lives by either bringing something in new or changing something that's already in existence into something that's going to have a meaning in the lives of people in the societies, in the communities. I call them innovators. Innovators in the sense that they're not inventors. They have not invented anything new, but they're changing or they're creating something which is going to, in a sense, be something new, but it's not exactly a new invention per se. In other words, something that's already in existence, transforming something that's already in existence in creating something out of that. I don't know if that makes any sense to you out there, but please bear with me. I want to first look at the word innovation. What's the word innovation? What does it mean? According to Webster's dictionary, it says it's an introduction of something new. It's a new idea. It's a method or device, which is a novelty. It goes on further to say it can refer to something new or to a change made to an existing product, idea, or field. It says, gives an example. One might say that the first telephone was an invention, sort of similar to the first cellular phone. But both of them can also be seen as innovation in the sense that it improved communication. How does innovation affect development? Well, because we are primarily this show is focused on, or this podcast program is focused on the development of sports across Africa, or trying to impact ideas or decision making across the continent with or people that we focus on, or people that we feature in this program, or we have on this program to talk about different aspects of sports and sports development across Africa. Therefore, we can say that we are trying to impact or influence individuals out there who are trying to make a difference in their societies, in their communities. So how does innovation, it's been that we're talking to two individuals today who are dynamically trying to revamp or either creating something or bringing something that was existing somewhere else into Africa, or also changing what was already existent and trying to revamp it or trying to create a new dimension to it. These are the people we're talking to today. How does this innovation affect development in Africa? It changes, for one thing, because innovation is changes. It brings new opportunities. In effect, this creates opportunities for new jobs and in essence, a livelihood for the sustenance of people in the communities that are affected. How do we get societies across Africa to recognize the value of sports within their communities as a socio-economic vehicle or engine for improvement of lives? I want to take you to an article I read, which I want to share some of the snippets with you about how sports in recreation can develop communities. It says that according to the article, there are 100. We're trying to develop 100 ways in which sports and recreation can develop communities. But they've divided this list into 5 different categories. And the first one is social inclusion and cohesion. And social inclusion and cohesion, the first item there says it provides a vehicle for inclusion, drawing together people of different races, religion, and culture. And 2, sports can cause positive shifts in gender norms that affect girls and women's greater in terms of safety and control over their lives. Women and girls, number 3 there is also talking about women and girls. Women and girls and people with disabilities are empowered by sports-based opportunities to acquire health information, skills, build social networks, and develop leadership experience. These are things that are needed to empower these individuals. Number 4, the social inclusion and cohesion is Participation in a sport by people with disability may help them improve their self-esteem and help them to integrate within society very well. And number 5 there talks about sports and physical recreation by women from culturally and linguistically diverse background enhances social inclusion as well as health and well-being. Well, we know for sure, one thing we know for sure is that sports affects your health and well-being overall. It improves your health and well-being overall. So those are things that are vital. The next item on there is youth development. The 100 ways we can use sports to improve community. In youth development, we see in item 1, which talks about sports and development projects. These are wherein we create sports and development projects that focus on educational outcomes. They use sports as a means to deliver educational messages to participants. Educational messages to participants, because sports is one way you can bring a community together real easy and get them to be immersed in that experience. And in the process, you can pass on messages. Number 2 on there is talking about sports can be used to support young people's leadership opportunities through sports in a number of non-playing roles, like refereeing, coaching, administration, and as well as trainers. Not everyone is going to make it as a superstar athlete. So people need to start thinking about other ways they can continue to be in the field of sports and play a significant role, and through which they can continue to be significant contributors to the overall development of sports in the communities. And in youth development, in item 3, we'll talk about promoting learning through play. We'll promote learning through play. That's vital. That's important, because that's key to letting kids know that sports is also key. It's also important in their overall development. And through sports, they can also learn very critical skills on how to exist or coexist with man or other people in their lives out there. And number 4 is talking about sports for development. And peace has served to supplement education and health programs. And this we've seen this through time in conflict zones. We've seen how that's helped to transform a lot of people's lives out there. Number 5 is talking about through play and physical activity, kids learn and practice skills that become building blocks for more complicated movements. So you develop their physical development is impacted, it's assisted along the way to make them wholesome individuals, things that will last them throughout their lives. This is a health aspect of life as a whole. And also learning movement, things that develop their spatial awareness as well. We'll continue to develop or look into this concept of how sports and as a whole can help to develop society as a whole. But I want to stop at this point right here, and so we can go on to these conversations I had with these 2 gentlemen. You're going to find this very interesting. I don't want to preempt too much of it. I'll let you listen to the interviews or the conversations we had, and then you can be the judge for yourself. In the first interview, I get to talk to Ludovic Petsy, the founder of MFT, Models Formula Team from Mauritius. And it was actually in Monaco at the time when I caught up with him. And we talked about his vision for this Formula One racing team for Africa with African drivers. Quite an innovation in itself. And I'm very impressed with what he's doing out there, and really supportive. And if you're out there and you feel like you might need to be a part of what he's doing and not trying to reinvent the wheel, or you just want to join him and what he's already started, you're welcome to reach out to us here. And you can email us at info@africansportsmonthly.com. That is info@africansportsmonthly.com. So we can reach out to Ludovic and let him know that somebody out there is looking to connect with him to help him develop what he's already started. The next individual we'll talk to is the new chairman for the board of directors for the Sierra Leone Football Premier League, Mr. Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi, a very esteemed individual who is highly respected in Sierra Leone and in many quarters around the world as well. Very intelligent individual, and he's been given the task to help to redevelop football in Sierra Leone at the Premier League level. He talks about a variety of things in the interview that's really caught my eye, and I was very impressed. And so I will let you listen to the interviews, and like I said, and I don't want to spoil it for you. So without much ado, you just hang tight, and we'll be right back. Further, I want to let you know that this program is being brought to you by African Sports Monthly magazine, Africa's #1 and only comprehensive sports magazine that covers all sports disciplines across the continent and beyond. Subscribe today and qualify to be entered into a draw for 2 free tickets brought to you by our proud partner and sponsor Ethiopian Airlines to the Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon from June 7th to the 30th in 2019.
We've got to find this love. All of us above, yeah.
1996 Atlanta Olympics, 1994 Nation Cups in Tunisia, and the 1994 World Cup were products of private funding. These athletes did Nigeria proud. We can do it again. Do you know that with 200 naira only, you can change the face of Nigerian participation at the Olympics? Only 4.5 million Nigerians with 200 naira contribution will change the fortune of our athletes. The contribution commences from the 1st of September to the 30th of November 2018. 90 whole days. Only 200 naira. 4.5 million Nigerians. With you, it is possible. Our name. We want to give 90 athletes from 5 sports 10 million naira athletes development grants each. Pay your 200 naira contribution to Access Bank Nigeria. Account number 0015464707 under the name NSDFI. For further inquiries, log on to www.nsdfi.com. Get to the Elite Athlete Development Grant. Follow the prompt. Help make Nigerian sports greater, stronger, and better. Together, we can actualize our sport dreams. We can and we will. This message is courtesy of Nigerian Sport Development Fund Incorporated, Abuja.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your host, Leslie Koroma, with the Africa Sports Report. I have a very, I'll say innovative in this sense. I'm not going to say interesting. It's very interesting, but this is innovative in the sense that motorsports is not a staple in Africa, even though a lot of Africans do love motorsports. A lot of Africans are known to watch motor racing. But I have with me a pioneer in the business for Africa, Mr. Ludovic Pitze from Mauritius. He's actually at the moment in Monaco and getting ready to have a team from Africa at the Grand Prix out there in Monaco. Well, I say innovative when I started